Shoes. The correct pair will help you send your project.
Yes!
But the wrong pair and you end up climbing like this. Wow! Hello! Welcome to another episode of Need New Shoes. My name is Derek and I've been climbing for 8 years. Throughout the 8 years, I've went through 7 pairs of shoes, all ended up with a very big hole like this pair of Evolve V6 that I currently have. So it is now time for my 8th pair of shoes. I'm currently at Kinetics Climbing to get my first pair of Las Sportivas. I'm bringing you guys along. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to choose your own pair of climbing shoes based on what I know. We're going to go through 3 different categories of shoes so you guys can know how to choose your own pair of shoes. And in the end, you get to see which pair of shoes I choose. Stay tuned to the end to get a promo code for your own pair of shoes at Kinetics Climbing. So, without further ado, let's begin! When I first started off climbing, I wanted a pair of shoes that were affordable as well as something that will last long. For beginner shoes, you don't want something that will make you not want to climb. You're aiming for comfort with some good functionality as well. For beginners, I'll recommend this pair of Tarantulas. They come in 2 different models. One is the Tarantula, which is a normal one, and another one is the Tarantula Boulder, which has a split sole. Alright, so I'm going to try this pair of shoes on right now and let you know how it feels. For a beginner pair of shoes, I'm looking for comfort while also looking for support in my toes when I'm stepping. Some might suggest downsizing shoes at this level, but you do not really need to do that. You want to feel like your shoes wrap your feet nicely without too much pain. And if you can feel your toes at the tip of the shoes, you've pretty much got a good fit. So the Tarantula actually has 2 models. One is the regular Tarantula and another one is the Tarantula Boulder. So the difference here is that the Tarantula Boulder has a split sole whereby the shoe bends a lot easily. So this helps with like smearing on volumes and stuff like that for more modern climbing because you're running on the wall a lot. As opposed to the normal Tarantula, it's one whole piece of rubber. So beginner shoes, they tend to be more firm. The rubber tends to be a bit more stiffer, so it provides more support when you are stepping. These pair of shoes are more suitable for people who just started off climbing, you are a few months in or you're 1 year in and you're only climbing like 2 times a month. So this is a very good entry-level pair of shoes. Price-wise, it's much better as well compared to the more advanced pair, so it helps you ease into the sport of climbing. And it's good for you to learn how to step properly on the wall before you start getting more expensive shoes that burn through rubber quickly. If you're a boulderer, you should get the Tarantula Boulder. If you're into rope climbing and stuff like that and you want something with more support, you can just get the normal Tarantula. Try it on yourself and see how you feel on the wall to have a better gauge on which pair of shoes you should get. Moving on to our next category, intermediate climbers. These climbers, I would describe them as having climbed for a little over a year. You guys have been climbing regularly and want something that gives you a bit more sensitivity in your footwork, but still maintaining that sort of comfort when you're wearing that shoes. Shoes that are not too tight, you don't have to like squeeze in, downsize by like 1 or 2 sizes just to have a proper fitting. And it still has the support that you would get from a beginner shoes, but increased sensitivity. This is where intermediate shoes come in. So, the pair of climbing shoes that I'll recommend for intermediate climbers would be the Kubo. Right here we have 2 types of Kubos. One is the Kubo men, and the other one is the Kubo women. But even though it says Kubo women, men can still wear it. The only differences is the volume of the shoes. If you can see here, the heel sizes for both same pair of shoes are actually different. Kubo men has a larger heel volume, but the women has a smaller one. And it fits more of the Asian kind of feet that has a narrow and a small heel as opposed to Angmo feet that has a slightly broader heel. So I'm going to try both and let you know how it feels, the differences between these 2 pairs of shoes. So I actually have a white pair of feet and could not fit in the Kubo women. But let me tell you more about the regular Kubo. Okay, so I've gotten the Kubo men on and right now it feels really snug. So one way to decide or to know whether your shoe is well fitted is one, from your toe space. You want to make sure that when you press it down, you can feel your toes. Sometimes there's a lot of gap here because the shoe has a very high angle and it can make your toe hook less effective. And Another one is you want to be able to feel your toes on the edge, so it helps with stepping on small edges as well. So yeah, you want to make sure that your toe is flush to the tip as opposed to having like some kind of space here, which means that you won't be able to engage your toes on this tip area. And third one is your heel. When you press your shoes, you want to be able to feel your heel. Some shoes, they have a larger ball and the heel. Then you end up feeling like there's some air or some gap. It's like a ball here. So you can press here and feel whether your heel is snugged into it. You do not want any dead space behind here as well. This will help make your heel hook more effective. So when you have an intermediate pair of shoes, these kind of factors tend to help you climb better because you are using more toe hooks and more heel hooks as opposed to just stepping itself. And one last thing you can consider is in the middle here, you want to make sure that you can feel your feet as well. Sometimes there's also dead space here which can make your climbing experience less ideal. So this Kubo Woman low volume is narrower and it doesn't suit me. If you have a narrow feet, you should try the LV. Usually it's called low volume or women's shoes. It's fine, men can wear women's shoes as well. It's just a labeling, it doesn't mean anything. Fun fact, Hoseoklee, who is an insanely strong moonboarder, actually uses the LV version of the solution comp, which we will see later. So it's alright, get your own pair of women's shoes. But we call it LV, it sounds better. We're moving on to our third category of shoes now, which is our advanced pair of shoes. For advanced pair of shoes, it becomes a lot more complicated, whereby factors such as the type of climb you do, bouldering versus lead, slabs versus incline, and the stiffness of the shoe, like how sensitive the shoes are. For example, if you are doing on a slab climb, you want a softer shoe, but if you are on an incline wall, then you want something that is a bit more stiffer. So it provides you more support when you are stepping with your toes. Okay, so right now we have 3 pairs of shoes, advanced shoes, and the differences are between the stiffness and where exactly you will use these shoes at. Of course, there are a lot of other pairs of advanced shoes, such as the Ondra Comps, the Futura, as well as the Mandalas, but I chose these 3 pairs because they are black and yellow and they look cool. Okay, so we're going to try each pair of shoes. I'm going to roughly talk about the differences between each pair of shoes. So the first pair is this solution comps. Usually people recommend to wear it for lead or outdoor bouldering because it is the stiffest pair of shoes among these 3. So it provides a bit more support when you are climbing for longer climbs. It is also a little bit more comfortable than the other 2 pairs. Also, stepping on sharp edges outdoors are not as painful with these solution comps. However, I do not like that it has the thin strap thing, because this thin strap wears out quite easily actually. I had a pair of Tenaya Oasis with this thin strap, and the first thing that went was actually the strap and not the shoes itself, because I think I tied it very aggressively. I'm not sure, but there are solutions to thin strap. According to Hoseoklee, he mentioned about using some dental floss to stitch the strap. But I never tried it yourself. If you like this pair of shoes, you can try it yourself. For solution comp, the typical break-in size is about half size. If you want to know about how much size it breaks in, you can ask the counter staff right here. Her name is Christina and she's damn good at explaining about all this video stuff. So for an advanced pair of shoes, they're usually very hard to put on, so they usually recommend this piece of plastic to help you slide into the shoes easily. The solutions felt really stiff. Too stiff for my liking. So the solutions will not be the shoe for me. Alright, the next pair of shoes is this Skwarma. It is an all-rounder pair of shoes, particularly for people with broad feet like me. So this is quite a suitable pair of shoes for me. Yeah, all-rounder because it is equally stiff as it is soft. You can still feel your toes when you're stepping, but it is not to the extent where it is too soft until you feel everything. So the sensitivity is like mid-range, the stiffness is mid-range. These shoes also come in the low volume version as well. It has a nice split sole, but still has your basic function to help you climb better, such as a very big toe patch here. As you can see, it extends all the way on top of here, and a pretty good heel as well. Right, so the Skwarmas actually have 2 kinds. One is the normal black and yellow one over here, and they also have a vegan option for plant lovers. Synthetic leather versus actual leather here. So the thing about theories is that it actually expands up to 1.5 to 2 sizes, so you should get a tighter pair. This is because the leather, there's quite a lot of leather bits here, so it expands quite a lot. So beware. For the Skwarmas vegan instead, it only expands up to half a size, as opposed to the Skwarmas black and yellow expands 1.5 to 2 sizes. And the third pair of shoes are the La Sportiva Theories. This one, a lot of people like it for bouldering. It is more suitable for people with narrow feet as well. As you can see, these two shoes are similar sizes, but the Skwarmas are a lot more broader than the Theories. So if you have narrow feet, you can try the Theories. Theories are significantly softer as well. As you can see, I can even sort of bend the toe patch here as well. That's how soft it is. And when you step on anything, it is very, very sensitive. So it's good for climbing things such as slabs or some delicate climbs. Due to the narrow profile of the Theories, I had to upsize quite a lot before I could fit into the shoes. And once I got it in, the sides were very tight, but the heel and toes were not snug.
Got a lot of space here. There's too much space here.
So, Theories are not the shoes for me either. I'm not gonna lie, stepping with the Theories were quite painful. So, sensitivity very, very high. Some people, they have different purposes for different shoes. For example, their regular climbing, they want something that lasts a bit longer. So stiffer shoes tend to have stronger rubber that lasts longer. When you do a lot of running, jumping and all, it doesn't burn through the rubber as fast. Compared to your Theories, if you're doing a lot of running and jumping like this, you can expect to wear out the shoe very, very fast because the rubber is very soft. So that's the kind of differences that you want to take note, is how stiff your rubbers are. Then you can roughly gauge how long that shoe will last. Alright, in terms of expansion, different pairs of shoes has different amount of expansion. Some shoes expand a lot, some shoes do not. For example, the Skwarmas, they expand up to 2 sizes because of how much leather there is. But the shoe like the Theory, it only expands by like a quarter of a size. So you can expect to have quite a well-fitted shoe from the get-go. For myself, I'm getting this pair of Skwarmas because I enjoy how I feel in it. I can still feel the wall and it gives me a good toe hook as well as a nice heel hook for me, which suits my goal for this year, which is to climb my first V10. Hopefully in this pair of shoes. As per suggested by Kisner, I'm downsizing quite a lot and it's actually quite painful to wear it for now. And I'm going to continue wearing. Hopefully I break into it very, very soon so that it becomes a very nice pair of shoes.
Disclaimer: if you downsize a soft shoe too much, it becomes stiff. This happens as you will not be able to flex your feet and run on the wall and volumes. You do not want to end up buying a new pair of shoes you wouldn't want to wear because it is too tight.
For those of you who are interested in getting your own pair of shoes today, head down to Kinetics Climbing, tell them you need new shoes and get 5% off all shoe purchases in the store. Terms and conditions apply. Look for Christina. She taught me a lot about all these shoes today actually. So she will be the ideal person to teach you about the shoes, or anyone at the counter, they would know how to guide you on getting your own pair of shoes today. Let me know in the comments how you guys usually choose your own pair of climbing shoes. Disclaimer, I'm no shoe expert, but I know what kind of shoes I usually enjoy climbing. So different people, different feet, different preferences. So it's good to know what kind of climbs you usually enjoy and choose your shoes based on that. Hope you guys learned a thing or two about choosing your own pair of climbing shoes in this video. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. And bye! So many shoes today. So many shoes.